Chapter 93. Faria had only told the truth. She really did think that the new chairman of Diamond Group was a mysterious man. After all, he had been able to acquire a group that was worth over 100 billion just because he wanted to. Moreover, he hadn't shown his face at all throughout this process. It would seem that his net worth was much grander than that of Diamond Group. In comparison, the Adair family would seem quite insignificant. However, she had not realized that the chairman of Diamond Group was currently sitting in her passenger's seat. Alex, on the other hand, was a man who liked to keep things as low profile as possible. Although he would dismissively respond to Faria, he never once revealed any information about his identity to her. In a fast but steady speed, they had arrived at a small garden near the river in just a few minutes. The garden was elegant and tranquil. On the outside, it seemed quite worn and crude, however, it was extremely grand on the inside. From a small bridge over crystal clear water to a Japanese-styled garden and even to the elegant pavilions, it was everything a man would dream of. After parking the car, a butler greeted them and led them inside. Walking past the garden, they walked into the lobby, which was decorated in traditional Japanese furniture. A crimson round table was set in the middle of the area where several fauteuils were arranged around it. Upon entering the lobby, a white-haired old man stood up and greeted Faria. "You have arrived, Miss Adair." A look of awkwardness flashed across Faria's face, but she nodded at the man. "Uncle Tony, you're here as well." The old man smiled. "Master said you would be coming, so I decided to come over and check up on you." Faria nodded and turned to Alex. "Uncle Tony is the appraiser of the Adair family. I'm guessing someone from my family sent him here just in case something goes wrong." Alex nodded, fully acknowledging that he was too young and inexperienced. It was understandable for them to take precautions. Tony glared at Alex. "This is the appraiser that you hired? Isn't he a little too young to be an appraiser?" A middle-aged man who was standing next to Tony snarled, "You hired a little brat to appraise. Do you not have enough hands back in the Adair family? Do you need me to introduce some appraisers?" Ha ha ha. Faria's expression turned cold. "Chris Tyler, this is Oris, not Lancaster. Don't you dare run your mouth here." Chris shrugged. "Guess the Adairs have quite the temper." Now. A middle-aged man who was sitting at the round table furrowed his eyebrows. "We're just here for business, not to start a fight. Let's all calm down. You too, young man, sit down." Faria huffed and sat down at the round table. As Alex sat down as well, Faria leaned toward him and whispered, "That's Chris Tyler, the richest man in Lancaster. The guy next to him is Tim David, a powerful geomancer. The one who just spoke up is Matthew Lane, the head of the Lane family in Oris. His family has been..." Alex then noticed that there was an old man in green traditional Chinese clothing sitting next to Chris. The old man had a full head of gray hair and he looked unworldly, carrying an unapproachable aura. His eyes were closed shut, and even when Alex and Faria had arrived, it didn't seem to catch his attention. Suddenly, Faria let her words trail off and stopped talking. Alex was still curious about what she was going to say next, but he decided not to push her. As everyone finally sat down, a fat man in glamorous clothing chuckled. "Since we're done with the fighting, why don't we get down to business? Take a good look at this beauty. All of you are from wealthy families. I'm sure $1 billion is just mere pocket change, so let's not dwell on it for too long." Chris scoffed. "If it really is what you claimed it to be, that it can regulate geomancy and calm our soul, $1 billion really isn't a big deal."